All right, guys, now I've moved you up kind of right in through this area here. And sorry about the panel here. It's going to need polished quite a bit. That's not tap marks. That's actually just kind of dirt on the panel. Been trying to keep it clean throughout the process, but you know how it is. Let me come up here and show you something here. I'm just going to kind of go through and relieve this pressure from these deeper pits, getting these deeper pits ready to be pushed on. I'm going to do that by just taking out any type of high marks that we use to put in there. I'm going to do that by taking out any kind of like high spots, like this one right here, that we use to coast that crown along, and just kind of blend them back into the original panel. And we'll open this up just a little bit, making it real nice and easy to get a tool in there and push up them little lows. Because essentially, these now are just a couple little creases. And you got lows coming in from this angle, which we won't worry about this from looking at it this way. We're not going to worry about that. That comes in during our cross-check angle, because this crease runs from here to here. It's better repaired looking at it from the opposite angle and positioning your light to where it's actually going against the grain and working it like a crease essentially needs to be worked. So let's go ahead and get in here and start doing some tap work. See, now you can see right here where I did do an aggressive tap. Hey, that's okay. I mean, that's literally what we're trying to avoid by using the soft tip knockdown. But hey, you know, occasionally we'll make some mistakes. I got a couple up through here that are definitely going to need to be pushed up. But you know what? We've opened this thing up. We've got rid of that pressure that was pushing the edge. And I'm telling you, when we get a tool on this thing, it's going to be much, much easier to repair. So what you want to do is you want to rinse and repeat this throughout the entire panel with the sharper tip knockdown. I'm going to try to minimize my misstrikes here, but a lot of it is I'm actually tapping and trying to look through the camera at the same time. Just want to make sure that you get that same visual and that same look that I have when looking at this repair, and you're getting that exact same experience. Just go ahead and rinse and repeat this exercise all the way through the panel from this angle, and then we're going to go in from our opposite angle again and do just our defining tap work. And we're just going to do the same process, rinse and repeat, and just go through this, this with our sharper tip knockdown here, looking at it down from this angle. All right, so now that we've went through and done our knockdown work, we're definitely at a point where we can begin going in there with something similar to a bullet tip tool. This one it's about the same size tip as a bullet tip. It's not a super sharp one. When you touch it on the end, you know, it doesn't hurt your finger at all. In fact, this one had been ground down early on, just making it a little bit more of a blunt push. So what I'm going to be doing is just going through this entire damage, doing exactly how we did starting with that soft tip, but now we're just defining the size of the tip because we're at the point where we can actually get in and start doing some definition work. So come on over here. We're going to be going straight in through the same cavity up through here and doing our pushing work directly from here. We'll come on over here and take a look at it. All right, everybody, so this right here, I'm kind of gonna put on like one of the worst areas that I have to contend with here. So that way you can kind of apply what I'm doing here to the rest of the panel. And I will tell you, we're at a level now where we're gonna begin the exchange between the pushing and the hammer and knockdown work. So you're gonna get areas like this that have a couple deep little creases in there that are going to need a little bit of that over molding to actually get the center of them out. And, you know, little by little, you can see I actually made a little bitty slip there. So that's not a massive slip like some that I've done before, but hey, you know what? It's part of the territory. Occasionally your tools slip a little bit, and you just caught me doing one. So here's an example of how far I'm going to push that center, and now I'm going to go in for an exchange with knockdown work. I'm actually going to, if you remember earlier, we had this little spot that I mispushed. I'm going to push that up first. Try to get everything going symmetrical before I go in here with my knockdown work. So there we go. I'm going to jump in here and do a little bit of knockdown work, and it's rinse and repeat until we flatten it out and make it nice and level. I'm going to go ahead and jump in there, grab my hammer and knock down. And go in there and start shaping the panel. So little by little, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to come back down through here and sweep, do some pushes down and through here, do some pushes in the middle again, and then tap it out. Part of what is holding this dent from becoming flush to the panel, as I stated to begin with, there's a crease that runs the length of this panel. I gotta go in and sit down, sit my butt on the ground, look straight up at it, put my light way up at the top, and actually run through and fix this entire crease. I'm gonna do what I can on each one. I'm gonna get it out to the point to where I think it will complement that crease whenever I go down there and actually begin working it from that angle. So continue watching, and we're gonna keep on pushing this thing little by little. Again, just treat every spot as an individual dent. And now, again, another knockdown session. See, each and every time we go in to one of them little sessions where we're over molding and tapping down, the damage just continuously becomes smaller. And now, again, another knockdown session. Knocking down. That's just the way it always is when you begin finishing out a larger dent. You just begin to the point where you get in this big time exchange. Push, 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 tap, 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 push, 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 tap, tap, tap. And that's always when you're in the finishing process, which is a tremendous thing because you're getting closer and closer to being done with the repair. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run through this panel little by little, just shallow this whole thing up. And then we're gonna go into our big time cross-checking angle and get this thing set for a nice finishing touch. So again, guys, just taking all my pushes right here from throughout this whole panel and then going in here and doing all of my knockdown work. Just like we did on that one spot right here, we're gonna wanna go ahead and do that to every single area. You're basically just trying to raise the entire area up and make it nice and symmetrical to where we can go into that strong cross-checking angle. I'm going to go ahead and run through this panel and we'll take a look at it before we go into our major cross-checking angle.